And yay, we are live. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Yay. I don't know, my internet is being a little bit slow, but we'll discover if that's going to be a problem later. Okay.
So is mine today, actually. It took me forever to set up today because it was just so slow. So
Oh,
we might have a
such
few
fun.
issues there. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see, but hopefully not. So I see two of you are watching us. Hello. Please introduce yourselves. We love when we get to meet you guys, and we especially love when you all interact with us, because it makes these lessons so much more fun for us. So tell us your names, tell us where you are, tell us if you have any plans today, if you've done anything interesting. I hope so. Oh, hello, Elvira. I think I've met you before because it's such an unusual name, but really nice.
So Elvira is from Rome. Fantastic. Yes, she has met you before.
Yay. Look at me, I'm making friends all around Italy. So we should probably introduce ourselves as well. My
We
name
should.
is Jadine. I am from London in England, but I currently live in Milan.
And I am Michelle. I'm from Pakistan and I currently live in Milan as well.
Yay. So what are we doing today, Michelle?
Today, we are talking about the wonders of the world.
How exciting.
Yeah, but there's a small twist to it because we are talking about the ancient wonders of the world today.
Ah, okay. Because there are ancient and modern wonders, right?
Right.
Have you been to any of either?
The ancient ones, no. The modern ones, no.
You've not seen any wonders of the world? I don't know if
No,
I believe that.
I don't think I have. Have you?
Hmm. I think so, but I'm not sure which ones. I need the list, and my internet won't load them. So we're gonna find out in this webinar. But yeah, so I can see more people have joined us. Please introduce yourselves and tell us, have you seen any of the wonders of the world? And these are ancient or modern.
Would you like to read, JD?
Sure. And also hi to Masa. I hope I'm saying your name right. She is originally from Iran, but currently lives in Rome. Very nice.
Fantastic. I love how multicultural this class has gotten.
Yes, it's great. We're
Mm-hmm.
probably very late, but I think it was Iranian New Year, maybe last week or the week
Mm-hmm.
before. So if
No
so,
worries.
happy late New Year. But this quarantine has been like one long day for me. So maybe it was many months ago. I don't remember.
I think it was about 3 weeks ago, so March 20th, I want to say.
I'm sure it's in March, but I don't know when. Okay, so wonders of the world. In this focus activity, we'll be looking at the wonders of the ancient world, doing revision of passives and discussing wonders. Ooh.
Exciting times ahead.
Ah, yes, you're
Okay.
right, Michelle. So it was the 20th of March, and also Massa has seen the Colosseum, which is one of
Oh,
the
oh
new
my.
ones.
So have I, now that I think of it.
There you go, I told you.
Thank you. Your faith in me
Shocking.
was carried me through some tough times.
Unshakable faith.
Okay, so here we have the word wonder, and it's an interesting word because it is a verb. right?
Okay.
And as a verb, what do you guys think it means?
Mm,
It's also a noun. So it can mean two
it's
things,
true.
as a verb and
Yes.
as a noun.
So maybe while you guys are thinking of definitions, we can give you some examples in context, or we
Hmm.
can show you the answers as well.
In context.
In context, in context. So it says one verb for the word wonder is the desire to know something or to feel curious. For example, I wonder what will happen in 10 years' time. I would like to know, or I'm curious about what will happen in 10 years' time.
Hmm. Well, I think that's a valid question. I wonder what will happen in a year's time.
Mm, or a week.
Right. And what are some other ways we could use it? I wonder if my younger brother is driving my mother crazy.
That's true. That's true. So here, Massa has said to feel admiration. Um, so I think, Massa, you're actually thinking about the adjective. Is it an adjective? Wonder, for
Wonderful.
example. Maybe wonderful. I'm thinking, for example, to stare at someone in wonder.
Hmm.
Is that an adjective if you use it like that?
I think that's more of a noun. Like, let's see what
Because
happens.
it's the name of the state.
So here we have wonder as a verb, which says, okay, so over here, when you've used it, Elvira, I have seen a lot of wonders in Rome, in Italy, and Greece. Perfectly done, but over here, you are using wonder as a noun. I'm sure you know that, but just to point it out,
Hmm.
right? So over here, to feel admiration, amazement, and marvel, we're using wonder as a verb. And we looked at the painting and wondered at the brilliant colors, right?
Yes,
But
but I
it can also be used, as Jadine suggested, as a noun in the same way, right?
yes, but it's just strange because so for this example that we looked at something and wondered, um, and again, this is just my personal experience with English, but this sentence is very biblical. Um, and I don't know if I've ever heard anyone use wonder in this way. Maybe in a book, um, but I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say wonder like this because it's not very casual. Um,
No, it's definitely not colloquial at all.
no, but if you have a beautiful vocabulary and you want to express yourself in these ways, it is correct. But yeah, it's not very common to use it like
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
But yeah, but so
because
we have.
we would
Oh no,
say I was amazed at the brilliant colors, or I was
yeah,
blown away. We
I'm
would
blown
use
away.
words, we would use verbs like that. It's very rare that we use wonder at for feel and admiration as a verb. It's more likely used as a noun.
Mm. Um, but yeah, blown away is really lovely. So to be blown away by something is to be amazed by something. Um, so then for our nouns, we have a feeling of amazement or admiration caused by something beautiful, remarkable, or unfamiliar. So she felt a great wonder as she looked at the stars. Yeah. Or she stared at the stars in wonder is
Hmm.
also in wonder, like in a state of wonder, I think is more common to hear. Um, and then the second definition is a person or thing regarded as very good or remarkable, which is what we're talking about. For example, the Grand Canyon was a great wonder to see, or that Elvira says she has seen a lot of wonders in Rome, in Italy, and yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Of course, if you guys have any questions, write to us and let us know. Okay, wonders. Jadine, would you like to read?
Okay. Have you ever heard of the seven wonders of the ancient world? If you have, what are they? Question 2. What do you think makes something a wonder? And number 3. There is one ancient wonder that's still standing. Do you know which it is? So these questions are for all of you. If you have an answer to any of them, please just put 1, 2, or 3 and then type your answer in the comment. And while we are waiting for some to come through, Michelle and I will just talk about these questions. So, Michelle, have you ever heard of the seven wonders of the ancient world?
I have, but only because I've taught this lesson many times.
Okay, so do you know what the wonders are?
I do. But before this lesson, before I ever taught this lesson, I knew about the wonders, but I never, grouped them together and, oh, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, counted them, wonders of the world.
I see.
And I'm sure that is the case with you as well. Do you know the 7 wonders of the world?
No, I can think of I, mm, I can think of maybe 2 that I think are wonders.
Right, but
And
you probably know
maybe
all
one
of them without realizing they fall into that category.
probably, but the third question is me because I can think of 2 ones that I think are ancient, but that are still here. So I don't know. I don't know which one is not ancient. So Massa says of Giza, and because there are more than one pyramid,
Mhm.
Massa, don't forget we have to use plural. So the Great Pyramids, and this is one that I would say is an ancient wonder. I think.
Yep.
Elvira doesn't remember. She says maybe the Colosseum. I think the Colosseum is more modern, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, Massa also says the Great Wall of China, which I did think of, but I also think is modern. Another one I'm thinking of is Petra in
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, which I would think is, but I don't know. Elvira says, I'm not sure what this is. Do you know,
Parthian, I would
Michelle?
guess. Emmanuel says Lighthouse of Alessandria. Yep, that is one of the ancient wonders of the world. Absolutely. So far
Really?
we have the lighthouse. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've not heard of this.
Before your time.
Maybe.
So the Lighthouse of Alexandria, and we have the pyramids of Giza. So we need 5 more.
But I just do not know. Okay. Over this because I have just Googled. But in English, we call it very similar Parthenon. If my comment will type. And this is an ancient Greek temple, which Elvira said she's been to Greece, so probably she has seen this
Mm-hmm.
in real life. But yeah, I don't know. Massa says the Hanging Garden of Babylon.
Yep. That's the third. Fantastic. 3 down, 4 to go. Good work, guys.
I do not know any of this. I feel embarrassed. But while we're waiting for some more suggestions, Michelle, what do you think makes something a wonder?
Well, something that just blows you away when you look at something and you wonder, how on earth did they do this? How did they manage to get the structure up with the tools they had? I think that definitely classifies things as a wonder. So if you talk about the Great Wall of China, that does inspire that kind of feeling, right? Where you just look at it and you're amazed. How did they do this? It's insanity to think about it.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, probably. I think with wonders, usually they are very big. And maybe that doesn't have anything to do with it being wonderful. And I appreciate small things as well with a lot of detail. But when I see something very, very big, I'm always, it makes me feel very small. And this makes me feel, in wonder of just like
Mm,
these giant constructions, and I am just one small person.
okay,
Okay, so,
Masa coming up,
oh, sorry.
and
Sorry, I changed.
no worries.
So Elvira says yes, she has seen that and the pyramids too. So you've seen two. Amazing.
Nice. Okay, and Marsha says Temple of Artemis. Yup, fantastic work. So we have Great Pyramids of Giza, the lighthouse, the Temple of Artemis, and we had one more. What did you guys say? The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Fantastic. Okay, three more to go. Come on, guys. I know you can do it.
But also, if you are now out of ideas for the ancient wonders, you can also answer question 2 or
Mm-hmm.
question 3 if you know which one is still standing. I'm guessing. Uh, well, no, I don't know because Elvira has seen 2 of these ancient wonders, so they must both be standing. But if you mean
No.
complete, then I think only one. Maybe she's been to the wreckage of Parthenon. Um, but yeah, you can also answer question 2, guys. So, what do you think makes something a wonder to you? What do you think makes something amazing, or yeah, unbelievable?
The Parthenon. I think the it's the Temple of Artemis. Yep, I think the Parthenon and the Temple of Artemis are the same.
Ah, really?
And they are one of the ancient wonders of the world. And the ruins, the wreckage, is still there. Well, not wreckage because it's not a ship.
Yeah, ruins,
The
ruins.
ruins.
It was my fault. I said wreckage. As it came out, I thought that's not correct.
Yeah, that happens, right? Sometimes you say something, you're like, no, that doesn't sound right. Okay,
Okay,
so let's move on so we can answer these together because we do want to get into the passives as well.
exactly.
Okay, would you like to read, Shadin?
Sure. So, hello, Antonella. Welcome. And thank you, Elvira. So she is just confirming for us they are still standing, but in ruins. So then I guess the pyramids were the only ones that are still here today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the earliest guidebook, The Wonders of the Ancient World, are a list of amazing sites from the Greek Roman world. The Greeks ruled most of the civilized world by the 4th century BC, so tourism to the big cities of Egypt, Persia, and Babylon became popular. People started to make lists of all the wonderful sights to see, a guidebook of the ancient world. The most famous list was written by Antipater of Sidon. I don't know. Today, many people have created their own lists of ancient wonders to include the entire world.
Fantastic. So this is a really just some background about how the seven ancient wonders of the world came to be. Because someone decided that this would be a great idea. This would be a great idea, for tourists, as most ideas do evolve. And they put together this guidebook, and this was definitely in biblical times. Okay, if you have any questions, let us know. Over here, we have the seven ancient wonders of the world. We have the Great Pyramid of Giza, Lighthouse of Alexandria, Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Colossus of Rhodes, Statue of Zeus at Olympia, Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, and a mausoleum at Halicarnassus.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's match the pictures to their locations. So the first one, I think we all know, it's obviously the Great Pyramid of Giza. Now over here, they say Great Pyramid because there's only one, right? There's only one in the picture, but there is more than one standing right now. So that's why we say Great Pyramid.
But actually, maybe I'm wrong. I'm learning just as much as you guys. I know there are definitely pyramids of
Mm-hmm.
Giza, but maybe there is just one that is the great one. I don't know. It's strange. I've been to see the pyramids, but when I was a child, so I don't really remember.
There is one which is the largest one, but it's the largest and the oldest of the three in the group.
Okay.
And it's the only one to remain completely intact.
Ah, interesting. Okay. But yes, I went to see these pyramids when I was smaller. And we've got a picture, one of these pictures,
Adorable.
which you get a lot of it in Giza.
Nice.
But it's horrible. It hasn't matched up. The pyramid's over here, my hand's over here. It was before digital cameras, guys. So okay. Elvira says number 2 is you've already seen it. Colossus of Rhodesia. Rhodes. This is terrible.
Number 3, would you guys take? And of course, apart from the first picture, they're all renderings, right? They're all drawings out of some artist's imagination. Because
yeah, I was just thinking that. So are these drawings taken from maybe ancient texts or stories about these wonders from the guidebook?
Yes, our school got it right.
The guidebook.
That's how we roll. If we want it, we get it.
We found this ancient guidebook, and they were like, you know what? Let's make some drawings. Sketch it up.
Okay, so let's see the third one. The third one is the lighthouse at Alexandria.
Okay.
The
lovely. So then,
statue of Zeus. Good work, Emmanuel.
Yes. So well done, guys. Yeah, your comments, there is a slight delay between when we see your comments and when you send them. But well done. So Antonella says the last is the Hanging Gardens. So number 3 is the lighthouse. Number 4 is the statue. Number 5 is the mausoleum. That's fine, Master. We see. The last one is the Hanging Gardens, which means number 6 should be the Parthenon.
Okay, there we have it. The seven wonders of the ancient world.
Cool.
Okay, so we have a text here. We're going to read it, and we would like you to find the passives in the text. So before we jump into that, let's have a quick conversation about passives. When do we use them? How do we structure them? So when do we use passives? We use passives when you don't know who did the action, so you don't know who the subject is, or it's not important, right? Example, my bag was stolen today morning. I don't know who the subject is. Someone stole my bag, right? Another example, um, Coca-Cola was first manufactured in 1850. So we're not saying by whom it was manufactured because that's not important right now. What's important in this sentence is when it was manufactured, right? So those are two instances in which you would use the passives. Passives are very commonly used in newspapers because when you're reporting something, you don't know who's done the action or it's not important. Then you use passives. Okay, so the structure of passives in English. It's quite simple once you get the hang of it. You have your, okay, we're going to read this and I'm going to point, and we're going to see the structure over here, and then I'm going to explain how it's broken down in the different tenses. Jadine, would you like to read?
Sure. So, the Great Pyramid of Giza. The Great Pyramid was the first wonder built and is the only one that still stands today. It had already been constructed in 600 BC when the next oldest wonder, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, were created. The exact dates are uncertain, but archaeologists think that the pyramid was built in the years 2584 to 2561 BC. Its original white facade and golden cap have long since been plundered, but it's still visited by about 3 million people every year.
Okay,
Okay,
fantastic.
so Antonella has already given us an example. So she says, had been constructed. So in the second sentence, it had already been constructed.
Fantastic, good work. So the first one is right up in the first sentence. The Great Pyramid was the first wonder built. Okay, and if you notice the structure, we use the past participle in the passive. That's one of the indications that you know it's a passive, you use the past participle. Fantastic work, Masa.
So it had been constructed, were created, was built, have been plundered. Really nice. And also, I've just put a different comment. So if you are ever writing any texts in English and you want it to be formal, you can use more passive sentences because these are impersonal and quite common then in formal texts, like an essay.
Great. Okay, and the last one is still visited. Okay, so this is something that students sometimes get confused with, right? The tenses in the passive, because whether you use the present tense or the past tense, you always use the past participle.
Yes.
Right? So, so always remember it's subject, verb to be plus participle. Past participle. The verb to be depends on whether you are using the present tense or the past tense or the present perfect or the past perfect or any other tense. So the verb to be will correspond with the tense, the subject stays as is, and the past participle stays as is. Anything you'd like to add, JD?
No, I think this is a really nice slide. Maybe you guys want to take a picture. Because yeah, I know lots of people, particularly for, actually it's not on there, but for the present and past perfect as well, I hear some people make mistakes. Maybe sometimes they forget that they need have or had. And also that have and has, we still have to conjugate them to the subject. So if we use the third person singular, we use has.
Right, that's important to note. And we should just quickly look at the present perfect and the past perfect in terms of when we use the present perfect, because sometimes that can be, and the past perfect, because sometimes that can be confusing, right? So,
Yeah.
I'll take the past perfect and you can explain the present perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so the past perfect tense indicates that an action was completed at some point in the past before another action in the past happened, right? For example, I had eaten lunch before I started the lesson. So an action in the past that happened before another action in the past. Elvira giving us a little bit of general knowledge. She says the pyramids were constructed in the year about 2500 BC. Okay, so we would say the pyramids were constructed around 2500 BC. So when you write 2500 and you write BC in capital, it's understood you're talking about the year as a time frame. So you don't need to mention years again. Antonella says,
Okay.
the Hanging Gardens of Babylonia were built for the wellness of people. I don't know, but I would think this. So we would say well-being, but I think that's a good guess.
I
Though.
like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting. Do you
Every
think
time
do you think for the physical wellness or physical well-being, or do you think for the overall like emotional well-being, mental well-being?
what's interesting about the Hanging Gardens that no one has been able to definitively verify the location.
Ah, really?
They think it's somewhere in Iraq, but they're not really sure.
Okay.
So I think that's
Okay.
that air of mystery is quite interesting. Makes it even more magical.
More mysterious. Okay, and Antonella has answered my question. So she says mental, emotional, and health. So just don't forget, guys, health is a noun and healthy is an adjective. So I hear lots of people sometimes make this mistake and say, "Oh, I'm talking about my healthy," but we're talking about our health. It's no problem. And yes, if you describe someone as healthy, then that is an adjective.
Right. But also one more thing, sorry.
Yeah, no, sure.
When you can always, because I think she was trying to go for the three kinds of different healths. So I think she meant mental, emotional, and physical,
Ah, sure.
perhaps, and physical health, because over here, mental, emotional, physical are adjectives that describe what kind of health you're referring to.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so then we have the present perfect. Is this the one I was supposed to do? Did you
Yes,
do the past?
I did.
Okay. So we have the present perfect. And we use this to describe something where there is a link between the present and the past. So something has happened, there was an action in the past, and usually we don't have a time for this either, so the time is not specified, but the result still has a consequence in the present. So maybe an action happened in the past but hasn't finished, or something was built in the past but still exists today. So there is a connection.
And one more thing, experiences, right? The best way to use the present perfect is to talk about your experiences. Like I could say, I've lived in Milan, so I have lived in Milan. It's not time specific, as Judine says, so it could have been at any point in my life. It doesn't have to be right now. It doesn't have to be in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Okay, this is fun. A little quiz. Do you have a preference?
Ooh, let's do inventions.
Okay, here we go. Would you like to read?
Sure. So I've just been trying to write comments, but my laptop is so slow right now. The comments will come, guys. So inventions. So what are the wonders of the last 2,000 years? Make a list of what we think are the top 7 and why. Think about major advances in inventions or technology, science or medicine, conveniences, and transport. And Elvira says the Parthenon was born. Okay, was born as a temple, or was maybe created because it's something that people have physically made as a temple. And also, she doesn't think the ancient wonders are maintained very well.
Excuse me, absolutely.
And Antonella says the measure. So measure, we spell slightly differently. The measure for fighting the coronavirus, or the measures for fighting the coronavirus have. Okay, sorry. So just.
There's no audio. Okay.
I know. I don't know what's happening. I just had a message.
No worries.
Okay, so measures, because we're talking generally, not about one specific measure, but generally. Measures for fighting the coronavirus have been taken to save people. So save with a V is the verb, so to save something. And safe is an adjective. So I am safe. We are safe. And thank you. So Michelle has just corrected this. Very nice. So guys, how can we talk about these inventions? How can we use passive sentences like Antonella has done for medical advances? What else can we say? So maybe we can talk about transport, no problem. So I know for me, I think with airplanes, I think they have really made things faster, made travel faster. So my sentence can be, I think more people use it. So I can say air transport has come?
Elvira agrees with you. She says the Concorde is one of the most advanced airplanes.
Yes, perfect. And when my comment eventually comes up, air transport has become more commonly used. And then I don't need to say by who, but we can assume by by the people. Do you have any examples, Michelle?
Sure. I will talk about technology.
Okay.
And the cell phone in particular. I think the invention of the cell phone has changed communication,
Okay.
has changed global communication. So
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
just
talking about who invented the cell phone. I'm not talking about how the communication has changed, just what's happened.
exactly perfect. And just a comment which I'm sure you guys probably already know because I think people always say this. But cell phones are more of an American English way of speaking, whereas in British English we would say mobile phone, but they mean exactly the same thing. So Elvira says, and again, excellent. Antibiotics are the most advanced discovery in medicine. Okay. But advanced, maybe it was a typo. We spell with
Mm-hmm.
two A's.
Yeah, she spelled it correctly before, I believe.
Yes, it's true. And
Um,
Emanuele, one of the most important advances in medicine, so we would put there, is penicillin.
yeah, and so you guys are psychic because you are talking the same language here. Penicillin is an antibiotic. It was one of the first groups of antibiotics to be discovered. So in English, when we say you're speaking my language, we're not actually talking about the language you're speaking at the moment. Um, it's a metaphor for being for having the same thought or thinking in the same way.
Um,
Thank
but sorry,
you.
I always find this difficult to recognize the passives. But is this a passive, Michelle? One of the most important advances.
No, because we have no past participle here.
Exactly. So it's a great statement, and also it's true. But yeah, we've got no I can't speak past participle. Don't forget how we form the passive, and like what Michelle said earlier, one way to spot passives is if we're using the past participle. So maybe you could say, I don't know, my mind is
The
blank.
discovery of penicillin has been where been
Has
is the past.
been one of the most, yeah.
Okay, and Elvira says electricity. You okay?
Yes, my laptop is just doing different
No,
things. Okay.
it's not your laptop. I think it's YouTube because I'm trying to type out comments as well, but my letters are disappearing and it's flashing. So
Sorry, guys.
YouTube is treating us unfairly today. So Elvira says electricity was discovered by Edison. Close, very close. Edison discovered the light bulb or invented the light bulb, and Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity.
Wow, Michelle, you know everything.
A little bit of everything, but nothing of anything.
Amazing. Um,
But
Yes,
if you were to ask me which year, I wouldn't know. So that's where it ends.
So it's been good. Just a few spelling errors, Elvira, which I'll try to correct in the comments. But you can continue, Michelle.
That was it. Okay, so what else can we talk about, guys? Technology, transport. Okay, so transport. I think the steam engine was an important discovery in the 21st century, right?
It's
Or
true.
19th century.
Sometime in life, there was the
Industrial
invention.
Revolution.
Clearly, I know nothing. So I teach English and not history. But also, Antonella, this was lovely. Our technology has developed more. So you said strongly. We can also say progressively. And this just means has developed in a good direction quickly that's useful for our future.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Michelle, you were saying about steam trains.
I have such an exciting conversation. So we're talking about transport, and in the past 2,000 years, I think the steam power, steam engine during the Industrial Revolution, 18th century, I want to say, was definitely something that changed the world, right? So the steam engine had successfully changed the world, have successfully changed the world.
Yes, but is this passive or is this active? Because the steam train is doing the changing.
Oh, right.
So it's tricky for us as well. So then we can make it passive and say the world has been successfully changed by the steam train. But no, it's true. It's difficult. Sometimes if we're thinking about the passive, and you want to make sure you're using the passive, check to see if the subject of the sentence performs the action or receives the action. And if the subject, so in this example, the world, is receiving the action, so this is the thing that has been changed, but it hasn't done the changing, then okay, your sentence is passive. If the subject is performing the action, so the steam train changed the world or has changed the world, then this is an active sentence.
Okay, and with that, we are out of time, everyone. It's time for us to sign off.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, thank you everyone for being so interactive and so full of knowledge. I hope this has been useful. If you have any questions, maybe quickly try to type them. But otherwise, we have to go.
We do. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.